Shambho Mahadev. Maharshi further explains in the 9th shloka, Swarasa vahi vidushopi tatha rudhopi nivesha. Abhiniveshaka rudho. Fear of death is Swarasa vahi, that means continuous desire to live, which is rooted even in the minds of wise vidusho api. Swaravahi vidusho api tatha rudo agniveshaha. The fear of death is something which we have explained extensively in the previous classes, so I don't go into that. The fear of death is because of the loss of identity, loss of identity, of letting go of the ego. Even when all else is given up, there is still the clinging to the life. It's only when a sage reaches the very last stage of asamprajnata samadhi that he cares for nothing but merging with the Lord. And when this level is reached, he remains in the body for only a few days. Sharira is no more necessary when the sage decides to merge with the Purusha, merge with the Parabrahman. Then his need for the Sharira is not there, and he eliminates that. Clinging on to the Sharira, clinging on to the desires, clinging on to the mana, clinging on to the environments, clinging on to many of them. Everything happens to desire. Everything put together is desire. Clinging to his desire. We explained about this desire very extensively. Many people whom I witnessed also. So this is the case when the death happens. So absolute realization is necessary. It's not realization of the death that is necessary. Realization of the presence of the body and mind is necessary, so you will not have fear of death. Death cannot be understood. Death cannot be experienced. Death cannot be learnt. Death cannot be described. Death cannot be avoided. And what will you learn? So when you learn what is Sharira, what is Mana, what are the Indriyas, what are the desires, what are the other things, then you automatically come to know what is death. None of this is called the death. That's all. Death doesn't have any explanation. Then we can say death of Sharira, death of Mana, death of Indriyas, death of this, death of this. Nothing is required. With one word we can say what is death. You have death of desires, everything dies. If you have death of desires, everything dies. That means everything dies in the sense that which are not necessary goes on. Again there is a proverb. What's the problem? न रहेगी बांसुरी, न रहेगा बांस, न बजेगी बांसुरी. What is the meaning of it? When the desire is there, then only the requirement of body, mind, indriyas and other things, world, everything is necessary. When that is not there, then death need not be explained. Is necessary? Is it necessary that somebody has to understand what is death? Suppose I make you understand what is death, what is the benefit of it? Can you avoid it? Can you experience it while dying? Can you have any experiencing of dying? Except, oh yes, there is near-death experience. Not the full, the complete death. Nobody can understand. Near-death experience that after coming back one can understand, but the true death cannot be understood. What is the true death? I think, explained it in long, even Reiki classes are places I have explained what is the actual death. What is the death? Every moment, every human being is dying, actually. There are thousands of deaths happening in our life. In each one's life, thousands of deaths are happening. You have a desire, you have died. You have misconception, that's one death. You have wrong, you have lied, you have died. You did a wrong karma, you died. You did not understand the truth of the Brahman, you died. Everything is a death only. What is that? The death means end. What is death here? End. Undoing. So a person dies number of times, even though they say only twice, but it's not twice. A number of times they die. Sharirically also, physically also, so many deaths are happening. Each and every day number of cells are dying. You're dying actually. Your Balya died. Kaumara died. Yauvana died. Vardhakya died. Vanaprastha died. Which is not dying? What is not dying? Dying is a regular process in life. It's not one time settlement. No. Death is happening every moment. You have a misconception. You did not understand properly. You did not follow the right path of dharmik way of living. That's a death. Every desire is dying death. Every word is dying, that is death. So, the true death, when the desires are no more there, that's the final death. When the desires are not there, then none of these instruments are necessary for us. Sharira, mana, indriyas. There are no afflictions, there are no attachments, there are no material, there are no spiritual, there is no spirituality, there is no materialism. Nothing is available when the desires are not there. That's why Swamiji here said, he has to reach an asamprajnata samadhi, where clinging on to the sharira is no more. Samprajnata samadhi is that with a desire you do a samadhi. Asamprajnata samadhi, there is nothing more required. I am in samadhi. What for? There is no question of what for. Why should I pray? What for? There is no question of praying is not for something. Worshipping is not meant for. Okay, praying can be for something. I pray for this, I pray for that, I pray for that. Worshipping is for nothing. Not for any, not to derive any benefit is called worship. Bhakti, it's a bhava, that's it. You get mingled in that bhava of the bhakti. In bhava, in that bhakti bhava, you are missing, you should miss. The idol is only a representative path to make you conscious of your worship. A reflection of worship is seen in the idol in front of you, who we call as God, representation in a temple or in a house or in a puja room or in a photograph or in a shivling. What you see is a reflection of your own bhakti. If you have strong feeling and seeing that there is God in that, that means that is the power inside you. If you are seeing only the photograph, if you are seeing only the shivling, that is not bhakti power. You are seeing an object. So to make you conscious of going through the object, through the objective experience, you derive a subjective knowledge of the bhakti bhava. Again, jnana is a bhakti bhava. In bhakti bhava, everything else dies, everything else disappears other than bhakti. Whenever there is a bhava, all other bhavas and all knowledges, all inheritance, everything dies, is it not? When you have a particular bhava, all other things are vanished. The teacher or the guru or the acharya who is teaching a dance or a music, that's that. I want that bhava on your face. That's what the acharya says. I am not seeing the bhava. Your steps are okay, your movement is okay, everything is flexible, everything is nice. The bhava is not seen. Because that's a physical action that person is doing, but from inside he feels he is dancing. He says, no. Acharya says, don't dance. Be that bhava. The fear or the bhakti or the karuna or the sadness, whatever bhava is there, that you should become that bhava. How can your face express that? Because you have to reflect that bhava in you. How can you reflect that bhava? You have to generate that bhava inside you. Any amount of ragas, perfection of raga will not have beautiful music. No. Ragam, talam, layam, everything will be there. Something is missing, I would say. When there is a sad song singing, suppose there is a tinge of happiness in that, can it be? You cannot feel it. You can't feel it. The person singing has to feel sad. He has to be sad. When we say that, oh my God, that is touching. Touching. Where is it touching? In your bhakti bhava it is touching. In your dukkha bhava it is touching. Nowhere else. Evokes that bhava in you is called touching. When you touch, you evoke something. You touch, you evoke something. So when that external application touches your bhava, we say it is touching. Otherwise we say the touch is missing. Worship. Then no idol in front of you, nothing. It is the bhava that is to take care of you. You should immerse in that. So nothing else will remain. Only that. Advaita Siddhantam. This is why Adi Shankara said everything is Advaita Siddhanta. With Dvaita Siddhanta you cannot have any of the things that is there in this world. Nothing. Even when you are listening to me, in the Advaita Siddhanta Bhavena, you have to listen. While listening, you think something else, something else, something else, something else. Aneka Bhavana will invade you, where you do not have a specific place you are sitting in. You are sitting into hundreds of places. Whereas when this immerses you, That's why you immerse in this, you become that, the word which is spoken. That's it. The Advaita Bhav, the Advaita status, practicing this Advaita status in this manner, you yourself become Advaita. When the mind and the Antaratma and your Bhava becomes Advaita, you become the Brahman. That's all. Nothing else is there. Nothing else other than this is there. That you have layam into that. Finished. When you have a layam into that, nothing else is there, is called the death. So the death, mrityu, mritaha, mrityu. Mrityu cannot be experienced. Mrityu cannot be explained actually. Mrityu cannot be explained. We can say what all those which are other than Mrityu. From there you have to draw an inference and identify this is Mrityu. Your sharira will not be there, your mana will not be there, desire will not be there, attachment will not be there, world will not be there, worldly things will not be there. Is called Mrityu. Is what somebody said? No. Can I explain what is Mrityu? Only having the existing things or not being there is called Mrityu. And verse come verse one can say, prana leaving the sharira is Mrityu. Now, what one will understand? It's an explanation of that. What is it, prana relieving the sharira? The prana is the truth. Prana is Brahman. Prana is Antaratma. Atma. That's called prana. Prana is Atma. It's all same. Different words are used for certain convenience of explanation and teaching method. So different paryayas are there, so don't get confused. It is all the same. Prana has been decided so that you can define Pancha Pranas. Then you can define pranayama. Then you can define this like that. So we cannot say Atma Yamam. We cannot say that. So pranayama. So the prana word has been, actually what happens, it is the Atma's projection that is being traveling through. So one can say that prana leaving the body. What is prana leaving the body? In the sense what? Prana is rejecting the body. Prana doesn't leave or come. Tell me honestly. Prana doesn't leave or come. Body comes and goes. Who is leaving? Even though we say prana chala gaya. Actually it is sharira chala gaya. It's the sharira that is gone. Is it not truly? Sharira you are taking away and burning or burying or whatever you do. You give it to birds. So many systems are there. What is being rejected? The sharira that is being rejected. Who rejects it? It's Atma who rejects it. Prana rejects it. It's not sharira who is rejecting the prana. It's the prana who is rejecting the sharira. Why? Prana doesn't require the sharira anymore. But the sharira says that I don't want the prana anymore. Prana doesn't move. Prana says, who are you to tell me? Then the prana go. People commit suicide. Trying to commit suicide. That's all that prana doesn't know. He has broken his part of body, or he has made him inefficient, he has made him paralyzed, he has made him blind, he has made him deaf, whatever it is, prana doesn't know. Unless he rejects the body. He experiences it. What is death? Death is that prana rejecting the body, Atma rejecting the body. That means what? The experiences that is necessary for the Jivatma When it is finished with this particular unit of body, he decides to change it. If there are further experiences to be done, he decides to change it, so he rejects the body. It's called a death. This is the maximum one can explain about it. Otherwise, it is the other way around. Death is what? That comes to an end. Anything that comes to an end is called death. Anything. Your thought coming to an end is death. You are not following a thought is death. You are not following a ritual is death. You are not, I'm just example, don't take a literal meaning of it and don't copy this. Everything is end of those things. End of that what? End of the requirement of the tool is called a death. That's why I said number of deaths. People die number of deaths. When we express wrong, when we act wrong, when we understand wrong, when we listen wrong, when I see wrong or anything for that, all the interests, when I do anything wrong, when I learn wrong, when I live adharmically, each and everything is a death. When I listen wrong is a death of you. That means, what is the death here? You means what? The death of the goodness in you when you listen wrong. When you see wrong, the death of the goodness in you, seeing, is death. Why it is called death? Because that is not what is required by the Atma. That what is required by the Atma is called life. That what is not required by the Atma is death. Rejected by the Atma is death. That which is not palatable to the Atma is death. The adharmic way of listening, seeing, smelling, eating or living, they are all against the principle of the Antaratma, Atma. So they are all called as death. Sharira, when it is no more necessary for executing that what is necessary for the Jivatma, he rejects it, is called a death. So number of deaths happen, that's what I said. Number of deaths we are dying. It's not only one death. That's the final death. When this is no more, this instrument is either spoiled or used to having only wrong things, or spoiled or no more necessary, having given enough time, the mind and body, Indriya and body is not trying to orient itself towards the Antaratma, even though repeated warnings, repeated problems, repeated sufferings, repeated educating, repeated vision, repeated listening, everything has happened. Still, if the mind and body and Indriyas are not listening to the informations passed by the Antaratma, he says now, this, it's beyond, we say no, it's beyond repair, better to reject it. The machine, when it is spoiled, if a bearing is spoiled, we can change the bearing. If the cover of a mixer machine is not, we will buy a cover and put. If plug is gone wrong, we can put new plug. But the whole motor itself is burned, it is beyond winding property, it is beyond that. So what to do? Even though the cover may be good, the plug top may be good, yesterday only bought, and bearing may be good, everything is good, but the whole motor is burned out. Even though they are good, Sharira is like that. No more good. It's no more worth of functioning. What we did, what we say. Oh, that's all spoiled, throw it out. We don't say spoiled. You say it is spoiled, you throw it out. Flask is spoiled, throw it out. Fan has spoiled, throw it out. Mixer machine spoiled, throw it out. Pen is spoiled, throw it out. Nobody will buy. Second hand price milega ek ball pen ko, spoiled ball pen. No, nobody will buy it. Then what to do? Throwing is also a problem. Plastic is not to be thrown out. Now what to do? They have to burn it. So ultimately, cremation has to be done. You have to cremate that. That's all. What happened? That what is not necessary for the Atma. That means against when the Sharira, Mana and Indriyas are not palatable to function according to the niyama of the Prakriti, that the dharmic way of living, when it happens, the Antaratma, according to the Prakriti niyama, the Antaratma rejects the body, can be called as death. This is death, of course. But why the death is happening is because of the desire, attachments, attraction, kama, krodha, loga, moha, matsarya is the reason why this instrument becomes not usable. There should be a reason for that. Why this gets spoiled? It got spoiled. We say he got spoiled because of such and such habit. He got spoiled because of bringing up. He got spoiled because of too much of money. He got spoiled because of too much of facilities. He got spoiled because of X, Y, Z, whatever it is. See, to make the instrument spoil, there has to be a reason, there has to be an influence, which is against the principle of the Antaratma. The man who does tapasya and going to spirituality, doing tapasya and getting the enlightenment, we don't say is spoiled by enlightenment, spoiled by tapasya. We don't say that. Why? That's not there, because that is synchronized with the Prakriti and the Purusha. That is the way it has been designed for merging, so that it is harmonizes with the existence. That which is disharmonizing with the existence is called, that we call it as spoiled. That which is good, meant for functioning, is that which is meant for, which is there in the harmony with the existence. That which is not there in the harmony is no more useful. It will try its own best. At the time when it is no more useful, it gets rejected. It is called death. So, the people, the principal being, human being, forgets that the Sharira, Mana and Indriyas have been manifested only for the purpose of executing this karmas, the dharmik way of living. Not meant for a whimsical activity of the mind and Indriyas, depending upon your own conclusion of right and wrongs and good and bads. No. Your likes and dislikes. No. I told you about the discipline. You have no other choice. All other things are, what did I say? Sin. It is papa karma. Forget about wrong. Papa karma. What is papa karma? That which cannot be rectified in this janma unless you undergo a process of strenuous method of execution of karma. Then only you will be in a position to eliminate the imprints of the papa that has been executed. It cannot be washed away. Even though they say you go and have a dip in the water, you can wash away all the papas, will not wash off. No. Let us not be in a wrong concept of it. Once a papa done, it has to be executed and exhausted only through another karma of opposite to that. Opposite to that. For that, enormous strength, Dhyanam, everything is necessary. Time, samaya, kala. Some of them can be done during this lifetime itself because they are small things. But they are delayed karmas. That you don't know when it will come. It can come after four janmas. Not necessarily it has to be next in series. No. Next in series, there are so many other things I have already created. So they get the priority. Booking has been done. They have to be accommodated first. This will be the last in the queue. Sometimes if there is something which get exhausted, if there is a place, this can be accommodated in between. So not necessarily it has to be, oh, okay, at least one, otherwise one consolation. Okay, at least this Janma we have done it. Next Janma will be over, another 100 years. You cannot be satisfied because you don't know when that placement will come. No? It depends on the vacancy. Then only it will come. So it can be after 4 Janmas. It can be after 10 Janmas. And say that where has it come from? I have not done anything. We don't know when it has happened. It has happened sometime back. That once upon a time when you were on holidays, that has happened, they'll say. Desires. So why these explanations are necessary? Why so much? We all know what is death. Then why talk so much? Is what your mind is asking me. Why I talk so much is that to make your mind conscious that live this life at least now. Consciously. So that eliminate at least the rest of the part of it so that it is definitely will be some benefit of it. No doubt about it. No? There will be some benefit. Sometimes it can be a major benefit, who knows? All these years what has been done may be small things that can be eliminated in this Janma itself. Who knows? Enlightenment takes place in a fraction of a second. Once enlightenment happens, all the Papa Karmas are just gone. You yourself will not be there, then where is the question of Papa? When you are there, then only the Papa Punya, Bhandam is there. Na? What's it? Bhandam. Oh, kapde ka. That is there because it has got a shoulder and a person is carrying it. When a person itself is not there, what? All get burned. So the Papa Karmas can be washed only in that manner, through the process of living, dharmik way of living. Find out dharmik way of living. Guru Parampara, Shastras, Dridata, Dhriti, Dhairyam of these qualities can take you towards the liberation from this cycle. We are entangled into a vicious circle. Exhausting karmas, creating karmas, exhausting karmas, creating karmas. You have to come out of this. The momentum has to be different. You have to create a higher momentum so you can come out of this cycle. For that, Maharshi says, loss of identity has to be lost. Fear of loss of identity, letting go of the ego. So, well, easily said. As I told you always, the Vachyartham is known to all. It's not a new thing. I think I myself might have told about more than 100 times or 1,000 times Vachyartham. You must have heard it thousands of times, the same thing. But then, how to implement it inside? It is to become a part of it. Today also our ego is creating a lot of problems. We know it is unpleasantness. How we are becoming unpleasant? Whenever as an egoistic action, we are unpleasant. How come in a small action when we take we become happy and pleasant. It is harmonious to the Antaratma. Then the true happiness comes, that ever remains. Not temporary. Pleasure is different. Happiness है temporary. अच्छा हुआ बचपन में वो किया, अभी भी the result is that. You see, that's called happiness. It's not temporary. Even today, even in the old age, that is paying back. अच्छा हुआ उस समय, I have taken a decision and did it. Right? Synchronizing yourself with the Antaratma or the Prakriti. That gives you a permanent satisfaction. That's what is called synchron. That's the harmonizing with the Prakriti. Others may be giving, some of them may be giving temporary pleasures, and immediately after some time it becomes a pain. They are not happy, they are not synchronized. So we have to learn that, how to do that. Dhyanam, meditation, again Shastras, meditation, Upasana. These are the methods one can, ultimately that is the, that's a prescription, that's a tool, that's a medicine that can be prescribed for any serious amount of anything. This is the medicine that has been done. With that, everything can be done. So in the 10th shloka, Bhagavan Maharshi says, Te pratiprasavaheyaha suchmaha. Te pratiprasavaheyaha suchmaha. Pratiprasavaheyaha. That is it. Pratiprasava means reabsorbing them into the cause. Pratiprasava. Where to? To the subtle, suchmaha. They are subtle forms of pain-bearing afflictions. Their subtle forms of pain-bearing afflictions can be avoided. This remedy, wow, not to get entangled with the identity and loss, ego. Their subtle forms, bracket में, of pain and bearing afflictions can be avoided by reabsorbing them into their cause, wherever it was born from, revert them back there. Pratiprasava. Pratiprasava is that. Prasava is that to deliver. Pratiprasava is that reverting back to that. Where the ego has come in me, I have to think, oh, too much of money, too much of this, too much of education, too much of fame, too much of this, that is how I got ego. Now, when you realize it, put back that ego back is what it is. Realize it, recognize it, say that, look, this is wrong. You are being led wrong. You know, when a man becomes famous, when a man becomes rich, when a man becomes high in position, there will be a lot of people praising, false praising them. And he enjoys, if he enjoys it, that is his ego because of his fame. Mostly people do that. So in colloquial language they call it as flattering, is it? Flattery is what? The man who is listening is a fool. He is flat on the ground. I made him flat. Yeah, actually that's flattery. You know, he is like this standing because of my untruthful praises on him. He became flat. That's flattery. So flattery is that. Praise a person unnecessarily. It's an insult actually. Praising a man who is not eligible for that praise is what? Is unnecessary. It's an insult actually. Apamanam, we call it. Manam is that whatever he is right, what you say is right. Apaman, it's all actually you are insulting him, which he is not. Inside you have got sarcasm. आप मेरे माई बाप है, मन में बोलता है तुम्हारे जैसा आदमी कभी मेरा माई बाप बन सकता है? लेकिन कुछ कार्य के लिए अपने कुछ कार्यों को सिद्ध करने के लिए उसको माई बाप बोलते हैं. Very valuable position. Mata and Pita is most respectable position. Nothing beyond that in our worldly life, more than respectable than that. There is no position. Is there any position better than that? No. That position is being given to somebody for what, for some small benefits. So first of all, you are deceiving yourself, and you are also doing apamana, that insult to the other man. You are also deceiving. You are calling somebody as which is not. That means it shows your character that you are not honest, you are not sincere, you are not worth. You have to praise a person, no doubt. Praising is necessary. Why? Because certain good karma somebody does, they need a praise. Praise them to that limit. Don't go to exaggerations of praise. That shows your character. It's very mean. That shows your character. This is what they say. You see, in a man, the smallest thing which is hidden or which is very insignificant for many is the one which is noticeable or should be noticed, they say. Today also I was reading one small, this one. Like people who are in the army or in police or anywhere, or in a very good executive rank and things like that, you will find their shoes will always polish and shine. They say that this can be a little bit bad, no problem. What is it? This uniform. This should shine. Am I right? The character of a person is shown in the shoe shine, it seems. Why? Because this is the thing which gets dirty at all times. If I can remove the dirt which is very frequent and keep it clean, he is clean person. The character building is that. That means that which is not that from tomorrow you all polish your shoes, no. The principle being, it's an identity of a man is that from his shoes, this suddenly look at him. He is keeping a clean shoes. No. Okay. He is disciplined man. Is how the discipline is identified. So probably in their parade and all that, the boss will come. He may not be looking at the other man's shoes. In schools and all we used to have nails. See the nails cut kiya ki nahi, hair cut kiya ki nahi. All that is discipline, right? The discipline is identified. That thing which is that which can get, this is the thing which can get dirtier faster. So I must keep it on, keep on cleaning it. Is where the shoe shine. What is that? Because with the foot is the one which is always walking and become dusty. So that if it is clean, that means you are able to clean yourself. Same way that this is symbolically told to you. What is the principle behind that is that when a person can keep the dirtiest thing clean, he should be in a position to keep his dirtiest thought clean. What is the most dirty? Shoe will be week. They may not walk on the field every time. They will sit in the office or go by car. Shoe will not get spoiled. But the thought, whether you are inside the air-conditioned room, whether you are sitting alone, or whether you are in a party, whether you are in a company, whether you are among hundreds of people, or whether in the company of two people, or whether you are alone sitting, or all time, at any time, this can go dirty. The principle of shoe shine is that you must keep the dirtiest thing that goes dirty any moment should be kept clean, is how you are identified, is that in our thought. If it gets dirty, no, it gets dirty, okay. Immediately as soon as it gets dirty, purified. Why did I say that? Pratip prasavaha. From where it has come, put it back there. If the dirt has come from somewhere, remove the dirt back to that, is what I mean to say. So the shoe shine and all, as an example I provided that. From where the dirt has come, put the dirt back there. After polishing, where is the dirt going? Dirt going outside. Throw it out. Again it will come, again throw it out. Pratik prasava. So ego, what is the reason of my ego? Is it my fame? Is it my wealth? Is it my position? Is my X, Y, Z, whatever it is? Is the reason of my ego? Because I myself know there is an ego. It's not that one doesn't know. One need not to tell that he is egoistic. He knows first he is egoistic. Then only the others know. So when I know I am egoistic, I should be in a position to recognize, look, something is invading you. Come on, put it back to the rubbish dump. That's all. Take it out and put it back from where it has come. The praise is not for you. It is maybe for the job that you have. It may be a genuine praise. But don't be egoistic on that praise. It's a genuine praise. Okay, I have done a good job. Somebody praised me. Fine. Thank you very much. It should be there. Now I should not take it as number of stars. Increase one more feather in the cap. I don't know where the feather comes, but somewhere it comes from. This is what feather. One more feather on the cap. Don't go so high. Immediately put that ego away. No, praise is good. I deserve it. I got it. Fine, no problem. I deserve it. I got it. But don't function with that in the next moment. That is there. That has been accepted. You are rewarded for the work you have done. President's medal has come. Veera Chakra, whatever it is. It has been given for the activity you have done. Because of your Veera Chakra, next day you go to the work and you misbehave. They won't see your Veera Chakra or not. Then your chakra will be broken. That's all. Nothing else. So we can't. So that means you cannot carry your ego with you for the next function. No. That is there. You got it. You reserve it. Fine. You are eligible for it. You got it. That's why President's Award, President's Medal, Veera Chakra, Seva Chakra, or whatever. So many things are there. They are all rewards that is given, recognizing that you have done a wonderful job. I appreciate you. The country appreciates the president. Giving award means the whole country is appreciating you. It's not one person. The whole country is appreciating you. You have done a great job. Veera Chakra has been given to him. Okay. Now you can't be carrying that ego and then function. No. You are appreciated. You have finished it. So you should know how to end that day. Finish. So if you carry further on that, that will bring disruption and destruction to you. That's a death again. So that ego you have to put back. That's what he says. Pratip prasavahedaya asukshma, in the subtle level, so that it doesn't rise again. Put it in the subtle form back into it. Is that what is necessary? So put back to that. Whether it is ego, whether it is fear, or whether it is any other thing that happens, makes you function egoistically, put them back to its own reason so that your ego is lost. Make yourself understand that this has been awarded to me, or I am eligible for this because I have done this. I do it again, I may be still again awarded. That's fine. do it again. But don't keep this as a pride in you and then keep on. You have got first class in secondary school examinations doesn't mean that in university you don't have to study. I got first class. I don't want to study anymore. Is it possible? No, every year you have to get first class. Every year you have to study. Every day you have to study. No, that's it. What happened? That ego, if you carry on, you will not be able to study. That means you are creating a destruction. So what you have to do? Put that ego back. That was done. I did well, fine. I have to struggle again. Our life also is like that. Each and every karma I am doing, I should be doing it honestly and for the next. So this, whatever has been done, or then if there is an ego, it happens. I am first class first, and all that people talk. Fine, no problem. It's okay for some time, it's alright. But not for your functions that will help in any way. You are first class first and you go to work somewhere and you do a wrong thing. They are going to fire you out, that's all. They are not going to keep you because you are first class first. No. Is it? This happens in our life. Our Atma will reject you. You just keep on saying, I am first class first. Sharira and Mana. That will not help. So your ego has to be put back. That is right. How do you put back? Yes, that also comes. It also should know how to put back. But we should basically understand. One is that the death. Second is that the ego and the loss of identity has to be done. This identity has been given to me only for the purpose of execution of karmas in this life. My name is this and my position is this. My parents are this. My job is this. My money is this. My association is this. My setup of life is like this. Is all meant for executing my karma. None of them are beneficial to me. They are all instruments for me. No. None of them belong to me. They are all instruments to me. I have to execute my karma for my mukti and moksha. So I have to be in the path of the true spirituality where I learn, understand tapasya and upasana and meditation and the vidya from the shastras and Guru Mukha. It has to be understood so that I will be in a position to place myself always in a highest position where the ego is not there. Wherever there is an ego, inside you, you may feel you are great, but you are actually standing. When there is no ego at all, you are always in the same position because nothing can affect you. Why I said low and high? Not physically. High means nothing can affect you. The one who is egoless, who is practicing spirituality, who is a tapasvi, who is a mahaguru, who is a jnani, who is a maharishi, none of them, they cannot be insulted. They cannot be praised. You can do it, but it won't affect them. Praises will not affect them, insult will not affect them. So they are always at the top where nothing affects them. Whereas an egoistic individual is always low. Why? Because he receives always. When he receives, he is burdened and then always he is at a lower position. So we have to put back that. Identify, understand. This discrimination can come only in the people who really has intention to understand it and walking through the spiritual path and truly practicing and truly wanting to be attaining the mukti, moksha, liberation. If that want is not there, no, I have to live with the material, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to die like this. There's a prescription how to die. Many people prescribe, nothing happens of course. But still they do it. And I used to joke some time back. I used to tell, I think, during Chandogya Upanishad. In the bank, they will leave some money. After my death, this money has to be used for my cremation or burial. Western world, it is very common, because children will not spend more money. So he will have to keep some fund so that his dead body should not be mutilated with that money you enjoy, go and buy something and eat. Buy one beautiful new ice cream has come. They buy and eat it. Something new biryani has come. Afterwards, let is that somebody's botheration. And don't know what are they gather. No, someone. In the will, it will be written. So much this and this money has to be spent for my cremation or burial, whatever it is. And it should be done like this, like this, like this. That's also prescribed. This is called the last wish. While going also, the last wish is there. Forget all those. Don't put conditions to life. Don't put conditions to life, because it is conditioned by Prakriti. Synchronize, and methodologically you harmonize yourself towards that. Is the reason why we are learning the scriptures and shastras. From this we can derive, and we gain the strength and knowledge to harmonize ourselves towards that. So te pratiprasava eyaha sukshmaha, put back that ego, put it back, which is a rotting bag, unnecessarily carrying us, spoiling us, giving. Actually, it keeps us. It's a botheration for us to carry that. It's a heavy weight. Now Maharishi says here in this paragraph to explain that when these various afflictions are a minor distraction to the aspirant, they can be merged back into their cause by substituting the opposite mental modifications. That's what we have explained now. For example, if egoistical thoughts arise, they can be combated by focusing on brotherhood of all mankind. The whole universe is one, sarvam brahmamayam. If feelings of attraction or avoidance enter into the mind, then contentment or acceptance can be substituted. Whatever and whichever position I am, whatever I have, I'll be with it. It's called contentment. We have described about contentment in elaborate, I think, earlier classes. Come to that contentment, that means the other things are only afflictions. So Maharishi continues in the next sloka, 11th sloka. What is the remedy? How to put this back? It doesn't have a handle and doesn't have a shopping bag to carry it. It's also hot because it was always on the fire, so it was very hot. So no, what do you call this? Tongs. That's also not there. Hand gloves is not there. So Maharishi says, Dhyana heyastadu vrittaya. Dhyana heyastad vrittaya. Dhyana heyastad vrittaya. Their active forms can be avoided through meditation, through Dhyanam. Not Dhyanam on that, Dhyanam on ego. Many people do Dhyanam on that. Yes. he has got enough wealth, riches, he will do Dhyanam on Devi Mahalakshmi, Kubera, etc. etc. What happened? That's an ego. You go to the Lakshmi temple in the India, Lakshmi temple. Many people, many businessmen, I think that's the attraction for them. Others will go and pray, they will not give any importance to them. The moment you go there, I happened to go there once with somebody, so 1.5 लाख का 2 लाख का चाहिए. कैसे घुमाने का है आपका भाग्य जो है, इधर से उतरते ही आपके पास में वो थैली आ जाएगा, गोल्ड कॉइन्स. 1.5 लाख वाला कर दीजिए, अच्छा रहेगा. For that only there, no exaggeration. Of course, little bit of exaggeration is there to impress you. But it is something like this only it's happening. Now what is the sanctity of this? And then why people go? Only to make money. The one who can afford to pay 1.5 lakh only going there to make it for 150 lakhs and go away to some other country. Dhyana he astadvriya muttaya. Dhyanam. Dhyanam, we already talked to you. What is Dhyanam? Dhihi nayate iti dhyana. Buddhi, bodham, consciousness going towards that. Dhihi, controlling that. And for what? Why do we do Dhyanam? I have explained what is the basic principle. Why one does Dhyanam? To renounce, not to gain. No? To renounce. Why? Because you are the topmost gainer. There are afflictions associated with you which pulls you down. That has to be renounced, is why Dhyanam has to be done. You are at the topmost. But because of these things, you are pulled back, kept under gravitational force here, not allowing it to go. Like a balloon is tied through a string. Even though string cannot be seen, insignificant, but that string is the one which is keeping this balloon. The moment the string is cut, up. What is a string? That which is attraction and attachment and desire. Attachment, desire, attraction is the reason why it is bandhana that is keeping it. The moment you renounce, you are again in your own position of that, near the Brahman. Dhyana he astadvrittayaha. Their active forms can be avoided through meditation. So their activity on you or their impact on you, the ego's impact on you, the fear impact on you can be avoided through the meditation is what Maharshi prescribes, the Swamiji prescribes here. If the afflictions are overt and a great distraction to the mind, they can be alleviated through regular meditation. All these egoistic actions and fear, I think we told you yesterday in the previous class that they are all because of the ajnanam, avidya, ignorance. It's because of the ignorance. So that ignorance is the one which makes you ahankari and makes you, what is avidya, what is ajnanam, what is ignorance, that you start thinking that what is not right as right is called avidya, ajnana. That which is not necessary for for liberation is considered as necessary is avidya, ajnana. That which is not truth, considered as truth, is avidya, ajnana or ignorance. That which should not be done, considered as should be done, is a Dhyanam. 101 times Shayana Pradishanam around the temple will give me this. It is good to slimming, body perfection आ जाएगा उसमें. Shayana Pradishanam 101 times. Suppose it's a big temple, then you can have it. Shayana Pradishanam. Satisfaction and ego satisfaction. Torture to the body and mind is not necessary to get liberation. No. It's not at all right, in fact. It's not to be tortured. Body and mind need not be tortured for that. If I don't drink water for 3 days, I will get Brahma Sakshatkara. That you can get, because you will go dizzy, dizzy. When you are dizzy and actually आंखों के सामने बहुत कुछ नजर आएगा. Dhyanam is towards that absolute and no desires. It's only for the purpose of renunciation. Mind should become absolutely silent. Complete silence has to come. Any thought comes, it is not silence. No thoughts at all. Absolute silence, a status of when an absolute silence comes in you, the Dhyanam is perfect. In that Dhyanam, you see that absolute Brahman, you can see. Next shloka, we'll take this and stop. Klesha Mulaha Karmashayo Drishta Janma Vedaniya. Klesha Mulaha Karmashayo Drishta Janma Vedaniya. Karma, whether worked out in this or future lives, has its roots in the pain-bearing afflictions. This we all have learned it. Karma and karma phala. Whether you are doing it in this janma or in the next janma, it has its own roots, and whenever it gets the right manure and water, it will rise up again. That's why I told you some time back that it can be next janma, it can be 10 janmas later. The law of karma states that every action brings about an equal opposite reaction. Whether is done to others, will return to the doer in the same form, in some form or other. In some form or other. It's not necessary, it has to be in the same form. In some form or other. Most people are continually creating new karmic situations. This is due to ignorance and is accompanying afflictions. Before final emancipation, all karmic debts must be worked out, whether one decides to do so in the present life or leaves this work for the later lifetimes. Choice is yours. उपनिषद बाद में पढ़ेंगे. एक ही तो मौका मिला है एंजॉय करने का. लेट मी एंजॉय. शास्त्र जो है, जब हम नरक में जाएंगे उस टाइम में गुरु को बाय फोल्डेड हैंड्स बोलेंगे, महादेव हमको जरा उपनिषद सुना दीजिए. आई डिड ए ग्रेट मिस्टेक. उस समय मांग लेंगे, उसमें क्या है, पैर पकड़ लेंगे. महादेव सृष्टिकर्ता है, तुमसे भी उस्ताद है. महादेव क्या बोलेंगे? ठीक है बेटा, कोई बात नहीं, अभी तुम नरक में हो, कुछ दिन यहाँ की जो all the hospitality you enjoy, go back to again that naraka, where naras are there is naraka. Manusha. Go back there, repeat that, execute all these karmas. At that time you call me, then I will come. Then I will teach you Upanishad. If you do not accept it, okay, then he will say that, okay, since you are not accepted, it will be after 3 janmas. वो है ना कोर्ट में Have you done this offense? No. 50 rupees increased. Have you done this offense? No. 200 rupees increased. No नहीं बोलने का. जो immediately first time में 50 rupees fine जब लगाता है, हाँ बोलने का है. उसी से खत्म हो जाए. The moment you say, the judge will say, है ना, कुछ है ना ऐसा violation करने से, you're not supposed to act. 50 rupees fine. Okay, हुजूर दे देंगे. The moment you say no, 100 rupees, next time 200, double हो जाता है. I'm not joking, it is there, our law is there like that. ऐसा फाइन है, पेनाल्टी होता है. भगवान भी ऐसे ही करेंगे, उधर से ही कॉपी किया है लोग, क्योंकि सब नरक में गया हुआ है, वही आया है वापस, वही लोग करते हैं सब. They are very well experienced on that. So वो उनको भगवान ने कहा कि बेटा ये नहीं होगा. The moment you say no, 3 janmas. One more no, 6 janmas. Now he has got to. Jokingly said. Well, jokingly said, but it has a meaning that whatever we do, it has its roots. Now, having done, it is done, that's all. Now, you have to undo it only through the process of pronunciation, practicing the dharmik way of living. All these things have to be done in discipline, so this gets diluted. It's not that it cannot be dissolved, it cannot be diluted, it can be diluted. They are not rigid, that it will be full, no. There are always remedies for that. Is what Bhagavan says here. Mahaswami. Now, 13th sloka we will take in the next class. Om Shanti.